In Thread 23.10, one of the new features that have been added are the new charting. Um, so the new charts have been added in preview mode. That essentially means that we know that this feature isn't finished yet. It's not actually finalized yet. We're still working on it, but it's been released such that we can solicit feedback from customers. So please take a look at these new charts and tell us what you think. I'll just go over some of the new features of the charting. So of course, we have a brand new right-click context menu system. In here, we have a number of different options. One of the first options to point out is that we can change the charts from light mode to dark mode, and you probably find in your release thread that dark mode is the default, but this is where we can toggle dark mode and light mode on and off. The charts themselves are much more colourful and much more feature-rich. The charts can be customized from the chart navigator. So in the right-click option there, this opens out a window whereby we can see a number of different settings of our charts. One of the settings that we can choose here in the diagram options area is we can choose to put a maximum scale on all of our charts, and we need to set the min-max to true actually first. So we set the custom min-max to true, and then we can set the maximum scale to say 5, and then we can see all of our charts can be put on the same scale, which is an often requested feature that wasn't possible in the legacy charting. We can also in the chart customize them quite a lot. So if we open out the global settings here, we can see that there's a theme manager. The theme manager is where you can control what the dark mode looks like, what the light mode looks like, and we can also choose what the default plot modes are. And then we have charts for the 2D grids, for the 3D plots, and for the line plots. So there's a number of different options in here as well, so we can choose whether dark mode is true or false. All of the settings that we choose in the global settings area are available to be saved. So any changes we make in the global settings area, if we right-click on our chart and choose to load or save settings, we have the option of choosing to save these to a file and then setting them as our defaults, or if we want to load in someone else's preferences for a charting or something that we've made earlier, then we can of course load them also. In terms of other features in here, we have an information window, which if we open will give us some information about the actual analysis. So in this case, it gives us the total power and number of rays and the type of chart and when it was made. So that's an option we have. Show multiple charts is showing all 3 charts here. There's actually 4 charts in this view, but one of them is hidden. The 2D grid chart here, if I choose to show 3D surface plot instead, then you can see that. But there's essentially 4 charts here we can toggle between. Some options to save plots to a file. This will save an image for each plot. Or we can copy individual images to our clipboard and paste them into presentations. And then one of the new features also in these charts is the ability for the first time to create an ARN from the data in the chart. So when you call an analysis in Thread, there is an option to create an ARN as the analysis is made. But if you forget to do that, there is no way of creating an ARN afterwards without rerunning the analysis. So in the new charts, the option exists here to run analysis, and if you like what you see and need to save it, then you can create the ARN afterwards. ARNs are intended to be the new file format in terms of saving and working with data in Thread. So there's no longer a chart option in here to save to the FGD, the Thread grid data file. ARNs are intended to essentially replace that. The usual option to display data in the visualization view and the 3D view, the usual options for scale data, and the usual option for block diagram. As we say, this feature is being relaunched in preview mode. Not everything is complete yet, and we're aware of that. Things like the Fourier transform you'll see here is grayed out. So if you do find yourself needing a feature of the legacy charts that is currently not supported in the newer charts, then the simple thing to do is just revert to the legacy chart for the simple thing that you're doing. And the easy way to do that is from Tools and Preferences. And in the chart area, there's an option to use LightningChart, which is the new charting. We can turn that off, and then we can recall the same analysis. And doing that will open the older style chart, which does have the FFT calculation in there. Okay, so it is possible to mix and match. You can switch between the two charting types. If I just turn that off, I can then just go back to my old one as well. So as I say, that's a brand new feature in Fred for this version. It is released in preview form. It's not finished yet, but please try and use it. If you have any ideas about what you would like to see or changes you would like us to make to this before we consider it complete, then please let us know with an email to fredsupport@photonengr.com.